England's secret plan. Before facing Mexico, imagine preparing for the biggest football match of your life. Months of training, years of sacrifice. Everything comes down to 90 minutes. But what if your biggest opponent wasn't the team waiting on the pitch? What if it was the thousands of fans waiting outside your hotel? This isn't the story of England versus Mexico. It's the story of a psychological battle that began long before kickoff, and it played out more like a spy movie than a football match. The 2026 World Cup. Mexico, one of the most passionate football nations on earth. When England learned they would face Mexico, they weren't just preparing for 11 players. They were preparing for an entire country. England's security team had already seen what happened earlier in the tournament. Supporters gathered outside another team's hotel. Fireworks lit up the sky. Drums echoed through the streets. Car horns blared until the early hours of the morning. The objective wasn't violence. It was exhaustion. A player who sleeps badly reacts slower, runs less, thinks later. At the highest level, that's enough to change a match. England had no intention of letting history repeat itself, so they did something unusual. Instead of relying on one hotel, reports emerged that multiple hotels had been booked across Mexico City. The fewer people who knew the real location, the better. Staff movements were restricted. Travel plans were closely guarded. Security became tighter than usual. From the outside, it looked excessive. Inside the England camp, it was simply preparation. Because modern football isn't won only with tactics. It's won by controlling every tiny detail. Then, the rumours began. Some fans believed they'd found England. Others claimed the team had already moved. Social media filled with photos, videos, and supposed sightings. Every hour, a new location appeared online. Some people were convinced England had used decoys. Others believed players had secretly changed hotels. To this day, nobody outside the inner circle knows exactly how much of it was true. And perhaps that uncertainty was part of the plan. Because if everyone thinks they know where you are, nobody really does. Eventually, England's real hotel was identified. Just after midnight, the first firework exploded. Then another. Soon, drums, chants, and car horns filled the night. Thousands of supporters had arrived. They wanted one thing: to make sure England didn't sleep. But this time, England was ready. Police had already increased security. Roads around the hotel were monitored. The crowd was kept at a distance. The noise was impossible to ignore. But the disruption never became the chaos many had expected. The psychological game had reached its final chapter. Now, only the football remained. Match day. More than 80,000 fans packed into the Azteca. Almost every voice inside the stadium supported Mexico. Every England touch was met with whistles. Every mistake celebrated. The atmosphere was relentless. Exactly as predicted. But England held their nerve. Even after being reduced to 10 men, they found a way to win. When the final whistle blew, most headlines focused on the goals, the red card, the result. But behind every great sporting moment, there's often another story. The one nobody sees. The meetings, the planning, the security, the decisions made days before the match even begins. Maybe England never used decoys. Maybe the multiple hotel bookings alone were enough. Maybe some of the stories that spread online were simply rumours growing larger with every retelling. We'll probably never know the full truth. And that's what makes this story so fascinating. Because the greatest operations are often the ones that leave the fewest answers. What we do know is that England refused to leave anything to chance. They didn't just prepare for Mexico's players. They prepared for Mexico's passion, for the noise, for the pressure, for the unexpected. Because at the highest level, victory doesn't begin with the first whistle. It begins with preparation, sometimes. The smartest move isn't scoring the first goal. It's making sure your opponent is searching in the wrong place before the match has even started.